Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the Kawasaki Kx125 from 1989. As you guys know, I picked up this bike last video along with these two project bikes. Picked this one up for $900. It was running when I got it, but last video we cleaned up the pilot jet, which was clogged. Got it to run, but it was bogging out when you would rev it up into the higher RPM. So we found out that there was an air leak right on the manifold boot. So we went over here. These are really hard to find. I'm still looking on eBay for one. We went over here and put some, it's like a little two-part epoxy on here, on the inside right there and the outside, to fill in that big crack that was in here. We're gonna be installing that back on here today to see if that solves our problem. Compression was good. It was like 175 PSI. Reeds were good, no gaps in between the reeds. Spark plug we replaced, got good spark. And then we checked the coolant, and the oil is a little bit dirty, so we'll probably change that as well today. But first things first, let's get that boot installed and see if that solves our bogging issue. Hopefully it does. That was a huge issue. All right, let's get this boot installed back on here. Hopefully it works. You can see there's a little arrow right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's the way it points towards the intake. So this is the side that's going to go towards the intake. So I'm going to go like this. Hopefully I don't cause any gaps. All right. Carburetor's all reinstalled. Let's see if she starts up here. Alright, so we're listening for the idle when we rev it up. We don't want it to be sucking any air in. We'll be able to pretty much instantly hear it if there's an air leak, so let's hope it is fixed. So just adjusting the idle screw and then the air screw down here. Just trying to get this tuned up, but it's definitely a lot better. Revs out completely now, so that's awesome. Start it up one more time and then just adjust those screws while we're doing it. I'll kind of put you guys over here. So what we're doing is listening for a lean sound, and then if it's too lean, we're gonna adjust that idle screw. Kind of hear it. I wonder if this thing is clogged. Yeah. I think this gas tank breather is clogged. Huh. Something in here is clogged. We'll quick blow that out with the air compressor just to see if that's clogged in there, and blow this guy out. I don't want that getting clogged. It almost seems like gas isn't flowing through that line. Alright, so I think we're good to go for right now. We're going to take it for a test drive and see if these settings are correct. We can always play with the jetting later. But I'm just going to see if this case saver works from the other bike. I don't know if these are too broken off to fit in here. Let's see. Yeah, that one's too broken off. This one is usable, but the bottom one is too broken off. There's not enough thread to go into there. So, looks like we're gonna have to run it without the case saver for now. I could probably build up this area with JB Weld and re-tap it. That might be what I end up doing. All right, now that we got it running pretty decent, we're gonna clean up the bike a little bit. I'm gonna get off all these random stickers on here. Especially ones that look crappy on the bike. Speed kills, but you'll get there faster. Sorry, bud, you're coming off too. Alright, all the stickers are off. Let's take a look behind this number plate, side panel. See what's going on. Ah, there's the exhaust leak right there. Right there. Leaking something out of there. So let's take that apart and clean it. The silencer definitely needs repacking too. It's really bad. It's really loud. Look at how oily that is in there. It's really bad. Take that part of the pipe off too. Look how gunk that is. It's really gunked up. Oh yeah, it's split right in half. That's why. You can see it cut right in half right there. That's why that wasn't working. That would do it. All right, let's see if we can find one of these off the other bikes. Maybe there's a good one we can use. All right, I looked at these two bikes for another their seal to go between the pipe and the other pipe. Could not find one. So I'm trying to repair the other one right now, waiting for that to dry. Let's get this pipe off of here and paint this thing up. Wish there was a way to get these dents out, because that would be a mint pipe. I've heard of people filling them up with water and then freezing them, but I hear that sometimes splits the pipes as well. So I don't know, it's not that bad. All right, using a little sandpaper, let's sand off this pipe here, get most of the rust off. Alright, time to paint her up using some flame-proof VHT paint. This stuff works really great, matches the original color of the pipe. So, spray some of this on there. I'm kind of running out though. Alright, we got the pipe back on, looking pretty good, all painted up. And then I got this pipe back on with the little rubber piece in between. I fixed that, so hopefully that doesn't leak again. I'm going to try to find that part online, but again, these parts are hard to find. I cleaned up the rims a little bit, the seat a little bit with some WD-40, and it's looking pretty sharp. I'm going to continue to clean it a little bit. Alright, looking pretty good. Looking a lot cleaner. side a bit. All right, we're all set to go. Let's go take her for a rip. First ride coming up. All right, before we take it to my parents for the real ride, let's quick take it up and down the road just to see if it hits that power band, and we'll go from there. If it does not, we'll try to look into it and see if we can fix it. I do still want to check out the power valves to make sure those are opening and closing. So let's first take it for a GoPro ride down the road and see what she does. Hopefully she runs great. All right, here we go, first ride. See how she performs. Looking pretty good, at least. Neighbors are gonna love this going down the road. Should sound pretty good. Alright, let's see. Turn the gas on here. Gas is flowing good. Little kick. Let her warm up for a little bit. Oh, it's boggy. Boggy off the gun. Really boggy. Just get done with the first ride. Unfortunately, it sounds really bad in the top end when we're at the higher RPMs. It just goes like boom, 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 like it's thudding, like it's really, really lean. That's probably not great. We're gonna check and see if the power valves are opening. The power valves are right here. You can tell if they're opening because there's a rod in here that should come back as you hit the higher RPMs. It should pull back, and that triggers the power valves in there to open and close. So we'll check that first. I have a feeling it's the crank seal, just a feeling, which is gonna suck if it is. Or it could be the head gasket up here, because that kind of does look crusty, but there's no coolant coming from it, so I don't know, it's hard to tell. Or it could just be something in the carburetor. But to me, it sounds like it's running really, really lean, like it's not getting enough gas. I don't know, leave a comment down below, what do you guys think? All right, let's get these off of here. 3 bolts that hold this on. It's just a cover. There's one that's kind of hard to get back here. There. This is what that kind of looks like in there. You can see, so this rod, you can see, you can even manually do it. It pulls this out. You can hear the valves in there clicking away. So they're opening and closing. But let's see if it does it on its own when we start up the bike. You'll see this rod push out like this if it's doing it correctly. It'll go out and then slowly back in. Alright, so as you can see, the valves are working. You can see that arm is extending out when you hit the high RPMs and then going back in, so they're not getting stuck or anything. Huh. Well, this is interesting. Well, you can tell it was kind of turning. I mean, it's white. You could tell it was turning a little bit black right there. But it's mainly white, so I'm guessing it's running lean. We can take up this cover right here and check that crank seal. There's two crank seals. And we can start it up and spray some stuff in here just to see if it revs down, because there's gotta be an air leak somewhere causing this. So I don't know if it's the carburetor or what it is. We could try messing with the needle too. Bring that clip down a notch in the needle. We could mess with that. Yeah, let's start with taking out this cover. Alright, let's see what's underneath here. Looks pretty clean. Doesn't look like there's no oil whatsoever. So I don't think there's a blown crank seal on this side. That would be leaking oil. But we can start it up and see if it revs down. Maybe there's an air leak in there somewhere. Alright, so I don't think there's an air leak there. It's gotta be something with the carburetor, I would think. So, we can probably tear off the carburetor again, go through that. I don't know. This is a tough one. Right, we got the slide here. Let's see what position this needle's in. It is kind of at like 2/3 throttle and it has its problem. Alright, so it's in the second notch. I believe it should be in the middle. You can see. So we're gonna move it. Let's see, this is allowing more gas in. So you'd think that would be correct. But maybe it's rich. I'm not sure. So the higher the clip, the less gas is letting in. The lower the clip, the more gas is letting in. So we'll try to make it leaner, I guess, and move the clip up. See what happens. All right, the needle is moved up couple notches to make it run leaner. And then I took off the air filter just to see if that helps at all. See what happens here. Oh, that sounded a lot better. Let's take it for a ride with the GoPro and see what happens. Hello. You're on video. Who is that? Alright, let's see if she's better now. Nope, still doing the same thing. Alright, second ride, another failure. Did the same thing, you could hear it just breaking up on the top end when you're hitting the high RPMs. So something's definitely not right. That was without the air filter, and that was with the needle in the other position, making it leaner. So we could go the other way and make it richer, but I don't think that's going to help anything. I adjusted the float height too, letting more fuel in. And that didn't seem to help at all either. Not too sure what's going on with this thing. If you guys have any suggestions down below, please leave a comment. I may be looking into this thing further, but I don't know. I'm kind of stuck right now. Alright, well that wraps up today's video. I thought today we were going to be ripping this thing around, but unfortunately it still has that problem. We pretty much checked everything you could possibly check at this point. The only thing I did not check was the crank seal on the right side, which we're gonna have to check that next video, and which isn't a big deal because we have to do an oil change anyway. So we'll do the next video. Stay tuned for that. Till next time, we are out.